Hi guys, today we are going with the session on Angular, and first question arises in our mind: why we need to learn Angular? As a beginners for the Angular, we need to understand that today's entire application framework or applications what we are using, that is all web based. The entire data and the application logic is available on the server, and we are accessing that application logic at the client lane. Up till now, for the web development, we were using HTML, hypertext markup language, then CSS, Bootstrap. At the same time, we are using the JavaScript for the client side web development. And at the server side, we have if you are using a .NET framework, then we have a C#. If you are using Java user, then you are using a JSP and the frameworks of Java. If you are a PHP user, then PHP or the frameworks of PHP. But in the new development requirement, Angular replaces these all the client side technology. Means like we are not using barely HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap individually for the web development. We need to use Angular. Angular is a framework which is useful for client-side UI designing. Now, current latest version of Angular is Angular-10. I'll be discussing about this, what latest version is and how to work with the Angular. If you get expertise in the Angular, your employability chances will be much more higher. Because nowadays in the application development, knowing only HTML, CSS, Bootstrap or JavaScript won't work. Obvious, frameworks also consist these all the stuffs, means basics never isolated, but we have to use that latest framework for the development and the production. So let us start with the installing and developing all these stuffs. Okay, so first thing, let me share my screen. Now to install Angular on your machine, what we have to do? Okay, the first software what you need, that is called as Node.js. Okay, that is called as Node.js. You have to install Node.js firstly on your machine. So you have to go to the CMD. CMD stand for command prompt, and if you can type node -- version. Imagine if Node.js is installed in your machine, just like we install the VS Code and all. So if Node.js is installed in your machine, then it will give you the version. Currently, version number 12.18.4 is installed in my machine. But if that Node.js, okay, JS, we all know about JS stand for JavaScript, and is all the enhanced frameworks of the JavaScript. So anyway, you have to firstly install Node.js. I'm saying I already installed Node.js over here. What you have to do? It's very simple. Open your browser. And just search out Node.js. Okay. So officially there is a nodejs.org site is there. Nodejs.org site is there. For installing Angular, we need to firstly install Node.js. So here, download for Windows 64-bit, okay, and this latest version available, that is 12.18.4 or whichever current version is there. But best way you use okay, the latest versions. Current means there is a beta versions, there may be the updations every day will be there. So I installed this 12.18.4. Just click on it. If you click on it, what I did, I go to the site called as nodejs.org, okay, and hopefully you have a Windows 8 or above operating systems, Microsoft operating systems, and with a 64-bit processor. You just download this. After successfully download, if you click on that, after successfully download, you will get the exe like this. I'll help you out. Here after download, I download node version 12.18.4 x84. You double click on it. You double click on it, and that setup will install. You double click on it. I am not double clicking on it because it is already installed. It sometimes takes some time to install. Okay. So what you have to do, what the first step I did, I downloaded Node.js compatible to my operating system version. If you are mostly, we are not using 32-bit now, but whichever the compatible operating systems you are having, the compatible Node.js need to be installed. Okay, currently I install a version called 12.18.4. You understand this particular concept? First of all, the first step, Node.js has to be installed. Once you install the Node.js, double click on the setup, automatically that Node.js will be installed. Now, how to confirm the Node.js is installed in my machine? That is, you go to the command prompt and you type node -- version. Okay. And if node is not found message occurred, it means Node.js is not installed. Otherwise, it will give you the version which is currently installed in your machine. After successfully installation of Node.js, then we have to install a next thing. Okay, what you have to install? npm. You understand my point? First of all, you have to install Angular framework. We have to install Node.js. Node.js, we have to download exe, double click on it, and check the version which is installed. After that, you have to come to the your command prompt and check the version of Node.js which is installed. Right? It's easy. After that, to install Angular CLI. CLI stand for command line interface. Okay, what we have to do? We have to use npm. Okay, node package manager need to be installed. npm install. npm, you can note down the commands, or I will give the commands later on also. npm install -g, okay, at the rate Angular/CLI. After successfully installing Node.js, you come back to the command prompt and type a command npm install -g at the rate Angular/CLI. If you install it, okay, let's install it again. It will install your Angular CLI. As it will take some time to load and install, but let's complete this process again. So this entire process is going to install your Angular CLI, the latest versions. Now try and understand one point. These all things are actually getting connected to the web server of Angular and getting that all the packages get installed on your local machine, right? So you have to type a command npm install -g at the rate Angular/CLI. Now it is like it will install everything. If the first time, if it is not installed, it will take some time, but give some time to it, and then install everything on your machine. Okay, so after that, now Angular version is actually okay. if you write npm version 6.14.6 npm stand for node package manager. That version is available 6.14.6. So we have now node.js available, okay, and we have now npm package manager is also installed over there. Now it means now actually Angular CLI is actually installed in your machine. It's very easy, not take much time also over there. Now you have to create a new project. Now you have to create a new project in project over here. So you, if you want to create a new project in the desktop, let's say we create a, you use a desktop only, okay, then what you have to use, ng new, ng for Angular, ng new, and the project name, let's say demo Angular sort of, whichever project name you will give it, demo Angular. This is what my project name will be. I'll create, enter. What I did, I go to the desktop, I create a project demo Angular. It is asking me, would you like to add Angular routing? Routing means switching from one page to another, and all these stuffs are there. We'll be discussing it later on. First of all, right now you said yes, and click enter here again. Would you like to add the CSS and all? Then it will install all the packages required to run this project into that demo Angular project. It will create a project for you. It will take some time to install that all the packages required. Which command I used? ng new project name. What I installed firstly, the Node.js, then I installed for later on npm install -g Angular/CLI. After that, I go to the desktop, and then I create a project, ng new, and the project name, and then it is installing all those packages in my project. Hopefully till now you get everything clearly. Okay, it will take some time to install all the packages required. Okay, in the meantime, I'll be explaining others why Angular framework is so much popular. The thing is, if you want, like obviously right now, we all are expecting that web should be accessible through mobile. You all are connecting to your virtual world. Okay, we are using most of the time WhatsApp, we are using Google Hangout, we are using mobile. Okay, because it's all web services. You can use a Paytm. Means everything is app based nowadays, right? So this Angular is actually provides you a cross-platform API, cross-platform applications building over here. Means the applications which you produce through Angular can work on any kind of platforms over here. So as the world is app-based, okay, we prefer, because if you want to access the web applications, then obviously you have to go to the browser, and then you have to type the URL and all. So nowadays, okay, it's all app based. So actually Angular produces an applications which will be connecting internally to the server, okay, which is connected, which is providing the API. So I will be discussing about this API model and all. So means that applications, it will produce the cross platform applications at the same time faster, okay, connected with the server and all. So if you want to know the various features of Angular, what you can do, you will simply, in the meantime, before loading it, okay, you go to the browser, and there is you can read that all the material about Angular framework. They have their own sites available over here. So you can read about this, all the features of Angular. Okay, as I said about the cross platform speed and performance. Okay, it's fastly able to internally connect it to the server and all. Productivity, full development story. It's a full stack development, like instead of using different technologies for creating HTML is different, CSS is different, JavaScript, jQuery and all. It's a combinations of all. We'll be discussing later on that. Okay, we are not using JavaScript even internally. It may be using, but we are using a TypeScript. So these all stuffs are there. So you can go to the Angular's official website and read these features, docs and all. You will be understand why Angular is so popular. And these, like Google guys actually produces this Angular. So obviously, okay, it is much more like a largest global developer community appreciate this, and everyone is nowadays prefers to use this Angular framework for the UI development, and it's a huge in demand for the construction of the UI. So that's why if you know the Angular. Okay, now Angular is the latest framework used for UI development, so that all the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript all get replaced by the Angular one. So it's high time to learn Angular to enhance your employability. So these are the features over there. Let's come back to the where we are. Okay, is still installing the packages. Let us wait for some more time so that like it will install it all the packages over here. Okay, so here our complete what the command we use. Okay, for the creating new project, that is ng new. Okay, and the project name, and then you switch to the project name now, cd demo Angular. Okay, and you switch to the that particular folder now. And if you now want to start the project, then you have to use ng serve ng serve and hyphen open. Okay, it's all CLI based, command line interface based, so that all the commands is a faster to response. So but all the commands need to be known. Okay, just like how to, after installing Node.js, everything I am performing. Okay, npm install -j Angular CLI, and then we create the project and then switch to the project. Now I'm running this opening, means like compiling and running that project. So it will open the like it will start the server, or it will compiling the process over there, and it will ask the say, okay, if you want any debugs, even any bugs are there, would you like to report to the Google entities? Say yes, and now your project will start. Again, it will start browsing and deploying it on the servers. It will take some time, but as I said, while working with the Angular, you have to give some time to it. Okay, to install all the packages and all, and the rest, after that, it's very easy and very faster to serve. It's compiling. Right now you haven't added any single line of code, but the default project he created for you, Angular created for you, will be, it is compiling, and then it will run on the browser. Yeah, it started compilation now. Yes, compiled successfully, and it provides you even URL to open. Okay, and it will open directly onto the browser. Here it is. Your project start executing on the browser directly. Local host means local server. What the command we used? Ng Angular serve means like on the server, switch on the server. It compile your entire project and redirect the application to the browser. Now on the local host colon 4200 is a port number on which your server is on. Angular server is on, and it is published this application. You haven't written a single line of code, but now your web page is ready to execute sort of things. Now this is it proves that your Angular application is running on, your server is on, and it's running on the port number 4200, right? So up till now what we did, you install Node.js. After that you install Angular CLI, that npm node package manager, everything you installed. After that you create a project. Okay, after creating the project, you on the server, and it compiles the code and runs on the browser. Here now the Angular is ready to work sort of things, right? Now let it be as it is and open your project you created on the VS Code. Okay, now VS Code we already aware about. You go to the command prompt, open in the another command prompt. Okay, go to desktop, switch to your like project, demo Angular and code dot. VS Code, guys, you already aware about how to work with the VS Code. Now your entire project, is going to open in the VS Code. Okay, look at that. Your entire demo Angular project is open over here. You haven't write a single line of code. Your Angular will take care of all these stuffs. Okay, so I'll be help you out. Okay, which version of Angular you are using? So you go for the package.json file. Here you will get the version of it, Angular common 10.1.4. Okay, Angular compiler means like your version, you are using a current version 10 of Angular, right? And this is what the way like we successfully install Angular and work it on. Now what the result we were getting onto the browser, this is the result on the browser. Okay, now what I will do, just like every new programmer will start working on the program by printing a hello world over there, right? And you all know about the HTML and CSS and all, but anyway I'm assuming that okay, you go, like now you check the version of by using package.json. Now you go to the source, they will there you got the app. In the app you got the app component.html. You go to the source, there you got the app. I'll be discussing about this all the app components and all, but first of all you go to the HTML, you open the HTML. Okay, and you just control A, use Control A, delete everything. Okay, what you use? Source app component.html, and here you type your own HTML. You all know about head, title. Okay, my first web page using Angular. Go to the body, give a background color, any other things. Okay, and if I type welcome to Axiom Tech Guru Private Limited. Okay, you can specify the heading style H1. Yeah, I know that these basic syntaxes of HTML you all well aware about. Okay, and yesterday also we practiced it. We are learning Angular UI development. Okay, so this is, imagine this is your, let's have a break and make it a center alignment. Okay, it's all HTML, and if I save it, just save it and go back to their browser, refresh it. What result you get, guys? Automatically whatever HTML code I am using, I'm getting the output in the browser. So whatever HTML up till now you learn about, okay, if you can write the code, if you want to create a table over here, if you want to do anything else, okay, you go to the app, means like you can simply able to develop Angular application right now. As I said, we are not using the entire features of Angular. My first day's motive is to how to install Angular, how to open the server, how to compile it, and how to build a simple hello world, or just like yesterday we learned about how we can able to create our own profile by using HTML, CSS and all. CSS also we yet to learn. So idea is, okay, if you in a case of web development, we are not supposed to use, obviously these are the basic technologies we should know about, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript and all. But if you are using an Angular framework, we can directly able to start developing UI by using Angular. So the entire concept of Angular is very clear to you in the sense we yet to learn the features and how to develop the components and the like various visual components by using it, or visual tools we are using it, developing UI and all, that is rest things we will be learn step by step manner. What is the agenda for a day? We install an Angular, we start the server, localhost colon 4200 is a port number. Okay, and it will after successfully compiler, it will give you the URL, and then I open that entire code into the onto my VS code, and I go to the source app and app component HTML, and I delete the entire code which was by default over there, and just like I produce my own HTML. And if you go back after saving, if you go to the browser, you will get that result over here. So, result like this, right? So I believe, okay, this is what we learned today, how to install. Everyone should know about how to install the Angular, and at the same time how to write the basic version of, okay, HTML pages creations using Angular over here. So this is the agenda for a day. Okay, I'm using Angular 10 version, and then I'm having I just explain you everything, how to install, starting from the Node.js to Angular CLI to your how to create a project, and run the server, compile it, and then apply the develop your first HTML page to browse it onto the Angular application over here. So I hope this everything is clear to you. I'm going to stop this session now. Okay, and if you have any queries, you can put it onto the uh, uh, forum so that I can able to answer it. Otherwise, I'm expecting that at least this, yes, this first HTML of creating create HTML page of creating your own profile should be able to demonstrate by you by using Angular over there. So I hope everything is clear to you. Okay, and then I'm going to share this entire process on the forum so that you can follow that and install Angular and at least create a first web application using Angular. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoy this session.